Okay, so today we're going to learn about what ratios are, about how ratios are represented, and the types of ratios. So first off, what are ratios? Ratios are simply a comparison of values. So it's when you compare something to something else. So for example, let's say that I have two circles. And for every two circles, I have 3 squares. So this ratio would be considered as every two circles there are 3 squares. So then that means that if I have another 2 circles, then let's say if I want to add them on, then I must have 3 more squares. So then if I do, then this makes the ratio correct. So then for every 2 circles, there are 3 squares, you see? So you can almost stack them up. But if you want to look at the whole entire thing as a picture, if you want to look at this, it can also be another, you can write the ratio in a different way. So then this looks like, so for every 4 circles, there are 6 squares. So let me just note that down. So it's also, it can be seen as every 4 circles, there are 6 squares. And the way that you can use these ratios is that you would have to multiply both numbers. If you want to get this ratio to come to this one, you'd have to multiply both numbers by the same number. So in this case, what 2 times 2 will give me 4. And then 2 times 2, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, and it has to be the same number. 3 times 2 will give you 6. So that does also fulfill our ratio of every 4 circles there are 6 squares. Also the same as every 2 circles there are 3 squares. So what happens if, let's say, I don't want to multiply it by 2? Maybe I want to make another ratio. Then what I can do is multiply this by 3. Let's say I want to do 3. And you have to multiply by the same number, so 2 times 3 will give you 6. And then 3 times 3 will give you 9. So let me go ahead and do that. So I'm going to draw. So let's see. So I have to draw 4 more circles to make 6. And then I need to have 9 squares in total. So if I do that real quickly. And then you should see that the ratio is still the same. For every 2 there is 3. For every 4 there is 6. And then also for every 6 circles there are 9. So that's what ratios are when you compare two values. And some of the things that you should know is how ratios are represented in different ways. So For example, with this example, I can say that I can have that colon. For every 2 circles, there are 3 squares. And then the way that I'm saying it, I could also write that out. So for every 2 circles, 2 to 3. The ratio would be 2 to 3. You can also represent that as a fraction. For every 2 circles, there are 3. And then that would be a fraction. And there are 2 different types of ratios when you compare 2 values. You would have either a part-to-part ratio. And with this example, it would be for every 2 circles, there are 3 squares. And you can also have a part-to-whole ratio. And based on the original one, it would be considered for every, wait a minute, no, not for every, but the ratio of circles to all shapes, all 5 shapes, is 2 to 5. Or you can generally, you don't even have to say 5. The ratio of circles to all shapes is 2 to 5. So these are your 2 different types of ratios, different ways to represent, and hopefully this video has helped give you a better understanding to what ratios are.